Hello everyone, welcome back to Everything Football. Champions League football is back, which means Champions League fantasy is back, and we are back again. First piece of content of the year. I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait for the round of 16. A lot has happened since we last talked, or last group stage, match day. It's been like 2 months. The draw obviously was made. We did the first draft, but first video this time will be about the differentials for match day 7, quickly followed up by the team selection for match day 7. I cannot wait. Let me know how your teams are looking, any differentials you've got in your team. Let's get straight into it. The first differential that I have, I'm going to be talking about 3 players, and the first one is Gabriel of Arsenal. Now, Gabriel will cost you 6 million. Is the most expensive Arsenal defender in the game. He's currently selected by 4%. Now, obviously, compared to Zinchenko, other people will have Zinchenko, other people will have Gabriel, others will have Ben White. But first up, now Gabriel and Saliba will play every game. As an Arsenal fan, I know that they've played. Both of them have played every single game in every single minute in the Champions League this season. But for the fullbacks, Zinchenko and Ben White, there's a possibility they could be rotated. For example, against Lions in match day 2, I think it was Tomiyasu starting at right back. Ben White is not there. Tomiyasu is now back. Timber could be back for, I don't know, maybe the second leg of the quarterfinals, and there'll be even more rotation there between 4 players: Zinchenko, Timber, Tomiyasu, and Ben White. And Kivio can also play there. So there's 5 players who can play as fullbacks. But in terms of centre backs, Gabriel and Saliba will always start. And Saliba is more cheaper, so I do understand why more people are going for Saliba. But if you take a look at their stats this season, both of them have scored 31 points in the Champions League fantasy. So very, very similar. And for Gabriel, being selected by only 4% is the biggest threat in terms of attacking set pieces. He scored a brace recently against Crystal Palace 2 weeks ago. In December, he scored against Liverpool as well. So he's a very, very good option, and as a differential, very, very huge. Obviously, there's recovery points and all that. I think Saliba is slightly better in terms of recovery points, but in terms of getting a goal and assist on the other side, very, very possible. And Arsenal have also kept several clean sheets in the Champions League this season, especially at home against Sevilla, against PSV, against Lens. All of them were clean sheets. So very, very possible to keep a clean sheet against FC Porto. Maybe not in the first leg. I kind of expect FC Porto to score, but as you know, in the Champions League fantasy is not there like the FPL. Even if the other team scores, the defender can end up getting 7 or 8 points. He might end up getting, let's say, 2 points for ball recoveries, the 2 points for playing the game. And as I said, for Gabriel, he can score assists. So I think it's a very, very good option in terms of that. That is the first differential. Second differential, we are going to be talking about Füllkrug of Dortmund, striker for Dortmund. He'll cost you 7.5 million, and he's currently selected by 0%. Basically, not many people have him at all. You might find maybe 500 people have him in the Champions League fantasy out of more than 1 million, so that is very, very low. He's scored 9 goals and contributed 5 assists in the league. Now, he's not the only option for them in terms of strikers. Haller will be back soon. He's still at AFCON, so that's a good thing if you're trying to select Füllkrug. There's also Marlen is also there as well. They just bought Sancho as well in the January transfer window. A few other players have been added, so he's a very, very good option. I think he'll definitely start in that game against PSV. Other things you need to know about him: in the Champions League, he's gotten 2 goal contributions so far, and he's a massive differential. 0% owned, very, very massively a massive differential. And in that game between PSV and Dortmund, I don't expect it to be 0-0. I kind of expect it to be a high-scoring game between both teams in both games. I can easily see a 3-2 and a 3-2 in both legs, something like that. So that would be huge. And if that actually happens, it could be extra time, which means more points in the second leg. So Füllkrug, 7.5 million, very good option. Many people will be going for the likes of Mbappe. Many people will be going for Haaland, Kane, Vinicius, the usual players in terms of forward players. So Füllkrug, many people will ignore him. And there's a chance that, let's say, There's a chance Haaland will score, obviously. But Kane, for example, going away to Lazio, it's not going to be easy. It could be a 1-1, a 1-0 to them, and Kane might not score. But if you take a look at the PSV Dortmund game, it could easily be 2-2, 3-2, and he can easily get a goal or assist or something like that. So Füllkrug is my second option. And the third option in terms of differential comes from the same game, but the opposition team, PSV. Now, Luuk de Jong has been absolutely incredible this season. 18 league goals plus 7 assists, so 25 goal contributions in the league this season. PSV in the league, they've been absolutely incredible. They've scored almost 70 goals, and we're just in February. In the Champions League, it's gotten 2 goals, and in the 5 matches before the last match in the group stage, because PSV had already gone through, Arsenal had already gone through, so the 6th game was a dead rubber. He was rested. But the other games, he played 89 minutes, 90 minutes, 89 minutes, 90 minutes, 90 minutes. So he'll always get to the 89th minute at least. So that's a player who doesn't get subbed off. It's also, as you can see, wearing the captain's armband as well. And I mean, it's an open game, as I said, against Dortmund. I'm expecting it to be an open game. So Luuk de Jong, Füllkrug, Sancho, Bakayoko, players like that, I do expect all of them to be contributing in terms of goals. And just like Füllkrug, de Jong is only selected by 0%. Not many people have him, and it's quite understandable. As I said, it's 3 striker positions, and I'm assuming everyone will have Haaland, so you only have 2 striker positions remaining. Some people will go for Kane in terms of second striker position. Some people will go for Griezmann or Morata from Atletico Madrid. Other people will like Alvarez from Man City, double up next to Haaland. But not many people will go for this kind of players. So in your team, if you the 15 players, I think it's very good to have, obviously select it by yourself, but it's good to have like at least 6 or the 7 players that are most selected. Players like Haaland and Bellingham have to be in your team. And then if there's a team you support, or if there's a team you feel like is going to do well, if there's a game that is going to be high scoring or a guaranteed clean sheet, you can have at least 2 players from that as well. And in terms of differentials, you can select at least 2 differentials. If you're like on top in terms of rankings, you can go safe, you can play safe. But if you're chasing, I think you're allowed at least even 3 differentials if you're trying to catch up with people in your mini league and all that. So let's see what will happen. I'll have a team selection video immediately it's out. I'll link it up right now. So thank you for watching. Let me know how you're feeling. Champions League football is back, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.